Let's speak right now to the Culture Secretary, Oliver Dowden, who joins us from Westminster. Morning to you. Thanks so much for talking to us, and lots of things to cover here. And we saw a big jump in cases, didn't we, yesterday? Is there any indication at this point when the government might move forward to kind of trying to delay coronavirus?
Well, as you were saying on your headlines, the government's Cobra committee will be meeting, chaired by the Prime Minister this morning. We are currently still in the contain phase, but we are always working on the basis of the facts and the evidence, and particularly what we get from the Chief Medical Officer. So we'll be discussing it today. It is a journey between the contain and delay phase, as the Chief Medical Officer said, that we won't see a huge difference between the two, but that's exactly what we'll be considering today.
And we know that today sports governing bodies, broadcasters meeting with the government to talk particularly about events, sporting events. Do you think there will come a point when they will have to be behind closed doors?
Well, that falls within my responsibility as the Culture Secretary. We're constantly engaging with relevant sectors, including the sports bodies. They were in last week meeting with the Deputy Chief Medical Officer. They'll be in again today. Again, we are guided by the facts and we're guided by the evidence. And at the moment, the advice is clear from the Chief Medical Officer. There isn't a need to cancel such events. Indeed, I was at Twickenham on Saturday with the Prime Minister. We had a huge crowd of people there. So there's no reason for people either not to attend such events or to cancel them at this stage, but we keep it under review.
And we've seen, for example, in Italy that already some games are being played behind closed doors. That is a possibility in the future.
Well, that is an option in the future, but we are clear at this point there is no need for events to be cancelled, and we are very cognizant of the impact the cancelling of events may have, both in terms of the economic and social impact. And the advice from the Chief Medical Officer is clear that at this stage we should not be cancelling such events, so we are not planning to cancel them.
They've also been talking about, you know, open-air events compared to, for example, watching a game in a pub. In your view, are both equally problematic?
Well, again, we'll be driven by the facts. That is exactly the sort of thing we have to consider. We must ensure that there is a consistent approach between, for example, whether we are saying that people should attend mass sporting events or attend restaurants, pubs and so on. But in all of this, we are being driven by the facts and driven by the evidence and the scientific advice.
And I'm sure you'll be giving me a similar answer to this as well. What about plans to, I don't know, shut museums, galleries, concert halls, that sort of thing as well?
Yes, well, I think I would just say, in addition to what I'd said to you previously, I think all of this is quite premature at this stage. We are not anywhere near that sort of stage. Any decision will be taken on the basis of the facts and the evidence, but we're very clear at this stage we are still in the contain phase, and that means that there is no need to cancel such events. There's no need for people not to go to sporting events, to museums and so on. The one thing people should keep on doing is to wash their hands for 20 seconds. That is the number one thing everyone can do. That is the most important thing for people to be doing.
One thing is quite different. For example, in France, they've now cut down large events to those of only 1,000. We seem to be doing something quite different at the moment, and you think that's the right thing to be doing?
Yes. We work on the basis of the evidence, particularly from the Chief Medical Officer, and there is no advice to suggest that we should be doing that. We're clear that we don't need to cut down the number of people attending events. We shouldn't be cancelling events at this stage. But I just say as a caution that we do keep these things under review, and that may change in the future, but we certainly have no plans at this stage to take any such steps.